here is where the drama starts. Lap 30, 8 laps to go. Sandobi hoping to take advantage of these lapped cars. Poleski dives onto the right side, very aggressive here. This is lap 4. The two Viceroys, Bill Frazier ahead of Matt Poleski. Frazier's off. Frazier hit the grass. You hit that tire wall, your day is done. You know, it's lap 20. The Williams still trying to get around the Terrell team as he'll go around the lap car and around those at the same time. At the same time, he's got the inside corner. Will he ride the curb? Yes, he will. He will get him on the inside. Vito Maria leading us all into Moss's corner. The beauty as his right side will cook the grass. Oh, a 180, no, a 360. Oh. Who will yield going into this corner? It's really not meant for too wide as it will be Gernald. Gernald will yield. Lots of smoke picking up from that Williams car. He is pushing it to the absolute limit. 26 of 30 now. Only 4 laps to go. He's going to get the run coming out the final corner. He's going to pull up side by side with the leader. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Who is going to get there first? It's going to be...
Blondie's Rapture hissing from an 8-track cassette, Lady Di marries Prince Charles, Formula One race cars with ground effects, and Long Beach State sophomore Medina Mendez in a tube top. Granted, one of those memories might be a bit self-specific, nevertheless, with the atmosphere now dripping thick with the 1981 nostalgia, you should be primed and ready for the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship. From Oulton Park Circuit, it's round 7 of 12 on the 2018 winter schedule. And all the retro open-wheeled action from Green Flag to Victory Donuts can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. From the land of Bobby's on Bicycles, Stonehenge, and really bad restaurant food, hello and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view is Soup and Crackers. Yours truly, Bill Soups on, along with Sean Crackers Ambrose, our director, the Dr. Pitts Topology himself, Amjad Yaman, armed with cameras, located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. If you brought cyberspace into your place, then over the next few streamy award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the 34 laps of simulated historic open-wheel racing that will immediately follow. Crackers, these cars are almost 40 years old, but today we race on a track that's been around even longer, Oulton Park Circuit.
Boy, Soup, we do. Set on a former country estate, Oulton Park, sweeping contours and picturesque setting have ensured it is one of England's most popular racetracks, almost from its very first laps in the 1950s. Located near the village of Little Budworth, just outside Tarporley in Cheshire, the first race was organized for Formula 3 cars and motorcycles back in August 1953. It was also the venue for a slice of F1 history back in 1961 when Sir Sterling Moss took the unique four-wheel drive Ferguson to victory, the only time a total traction car has triumphed in the top category. International with no chicanes is the course today. 2.6 miles, yes, 4.3 kilometers, 12 turns. Soup. The best way to get an idea of what it's like to get around this track is to hop on board the GSRC Lotus 79 and take a trip around Oulton Park.
All right, we've got Juha Noralampi and the GSRC Lotus 79, so let's do a lap around Oulton Park. Old Hall Corner is deceptive, and you'll want to late apex it, or else you'll push wide on the exit. Coming off the corner, you can use a bit of the AstroTurf, but not a lot. Up to Dittons, this little kink makes the entry to Cascades pretty blind. Knowing how to line up your car will be crucial for a great run through this left-hander. And honestly, a good launch from here will be pretty important to your lap time in general, since it's flat out from here to the Shell hairpin. There'll be no lifting around the frighteningly fast Island Bend. Heavy braking into the hairpin means you can expect to see a few pass attempts. But despite the banking, making moves around the outside rarely pans out. It's another long, fast run after this, so make sure you're confident getting on the gas. We're bypassing the Britain chicane in this layout, hopping up and over the crest where you can really tell how bumpy this track is. Let it drift off to the left and get ready for Knickerbrook. Fling it through here as fast as you dare, but don't clip that inside curb too hard. No time to rest because you're immediately climbing up through Clay Hill and then Water Tower. It'll take some bravery to get the car through Druids properly with its double apex and crested exit. When it goes wrong here, it goes wrong fast. After that, it's down to Lodge, where it's a surprisingly slow corner compared to the rest of the circuit. The track falls away coming off of it, so be careful with the power. From there, straight line Deer Leap, and if you kept it together, you've now finished a lap around Oulton Park.
And to quote the great Carly Simon, nobody does it better. And she must have been singing about the great Joe Peak and his ability to talk the viewer around a racetrack. But now let's talk about the championship points. And the driver standings currently as they sit, Nuno Moreira, at Shadow Racing Team there on top. Solid 69 points. Looking good right now here in round 7. Journo Frisch going to need a little bit of hard work left to go this season to try and get there and catch Nuno Moreira. Cali Cola, though, right there behind Journo Frisch, making it really, really close. Now, those droplets you see on screen, that's the number of drop races that are taken into account right now. Those points right there, that's the amount of cushion they have. Michelle Vandenberg there, 120 points back in 4th, and Jared Hofer sits in 5th. And, of course, you see there the points very, very close to Vandenberg. That battle is not over. Still a lot of racing left to go. Let's look at the team standings right now. And it's Scuderia Ferrari, Spa Seafac, Vandenberg, and Clapp there on top, followed by Parmalat Racing. The Bradham team there, Wood, Winfield, a couple of Brits there holding it down in 2nd. But watch out because the Marlboro team, McLaren, Gerber back there, 3rd place, only just a couple points behind. Shadow Racing Team, Nuno Moreira and Gattuso, only 3 points back of 3rd and 5 of 2nd there. So really, really good battle there in the middle. And then the Elf Team Tyrell, Journo Frisch and Valimaki, only 56 points behind and very close to a good battle there with 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. So, Soup, that is the points as they sit. Why don't we get into looking at the details here real quick? We'll take those. We're always picking up new viewers here at the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship. Today is round 7 of 12. 34 laps here today at Oulton Park. It's a pretty quick lap around here, too. Qualifying times coming in at about 1:13, 1:14. So this will be a quick race today. Setups, they're open. That means they have uniquely dialed these machines in for their style and to get the most out of these cars. There will be no stop for fuel. Incident cap 17. You have 17 of those. You're out of the race. This could be a track for picking up points today. We'll have to be very careful around here. The official iRacing points are in play, Soup.
You know, one of the most popular movies in 1981 was Time Bandits, and the drivers are out there right now trying to steal some time themselves during qualifying. So let's take a peek and see how that's going right now. And no surprise, Sean, to see who's sitting at the top.
Now the Preacher is back with us this week, and he's back on top with a 1:13.7, 2/10 faster than Richard Borchers, looking to be a real surprise here up on the front row. Borchers is there. QC Clapp out on track right now, getting his final lap in. We'll see if QC can get any better than his provisional 9th place right now. Wow, and QC Clapp puts down a burner, Soup.
Now, Sean, what about the size of our field today?
Soup, I'm really amazed. We've got a 35 car field today. We did not get a split. 35 cars around this circuit is going to be a blast. Now, it is a just over 2.5 mile circuit, but Soup, this is a very narrow track, and there's a few places to really get in trouble. We were talking about Knickerbocker before the race, and that's a blind. I'm sorry, I said Knickerbocker. I was thinking about the New York Knicks there, Soup. Knickerbrook, their turn 7. It's a blind right-hander uphill, and you can get airborne there if you're not careful with this machine. It gets very, very light. Side-by-side travel through there is going to be fun to watch. In this first lap could get pretty dicey. So I know our director will be busy at the helm there trying to catch all the action for you as we get going.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you know, the scoring is all week long, and it's the iRacing points that count. But usually because of the GSRC broadcast, and this being the probably most publicized race all week, the points are usually biggest during this broadcast race, wouldn't you say?
Yes, indeed they are, Soup. That's correct, yes.
So while there are drop weeks, and now if a driver were to have a bad result here, yes, they still have an opportunity either earlier or before the week or later on to at least score some points. They're not going to get a 0 if they finish last. This is the race that you really want to do well and where you can pick up the most points.
Right. It is, Soup. And right now you see Kyle Rucola on track. Rucola does not have enough time to get a second lap in as qualifying goes away there. Rucola does manage to get on the second row in fourth. Here we go with the grid, Soup.
It's Hula Norlampi and QC Clapp, Richard Borchers and Kelly Rucola, Janode Frisch and Fabian Gerber, Matt Wood, Gerd Hofferer, Michelle Vanderberg, and Steve Bycroft in the top 10.
All right, Peter Konechny in 11th, Nicola Kochi in 12th, Nicholas Landau in 13th, Lear Hughes in 14th, 15th, Barry West, Thorsten Call 16th, 17th, Adam Fraser, Mark Winfield 18th, Karthik Pai 19th, better qualifying effort for him this week, Pablo Suarez 20th, 21st, John Stevens, Keith Herner 22nd, Paolo Alberton 23rd, Tony Teolis 24th, 25th, Mason Pascal, Kendrick Taylor 26th, 27th, Robert Simpkins, Steve Sarles 28th, 29th, Fabio Guerrero, Andrew Eng 30th, 31st, Robert Cottle, Jason Wallet 32nd, 33rd, Mark Pickford, Frank Russell 34th, and Adam Dizdarovec 35th.
Outstanding. We made it all the way through, Sean. You earned us our GSRC commentator bonus. Nice job for getting through. They're lighting up right now. We're still waiting for some of the cars to take their spot. QC Clapp was slow to get out there, and we appreciate that up here in the booth, giving everybody time to run through. But now he takes a spot in the second position. It's round 7 of 12 here.
Could you tell I wanted to get that bonus today?
I could tell, and I appreciate that as I'm filling in for Joe Peak, who's at Daytona right now, enjoying some of the real-world racing going on. But at this moment, we're going to enjoy some of this simulated racing here in the Classic Team Championship. The engines start to harmonize. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is Norlampi leading the Stampede down into the first corner. He's followed by Clapp. Some contact in the back.
Lots of contact. We got a big one. Goodness. Tony Teolis involved in that, and Steve Sarles just barely getting through. Mark Pickford, another driver involved in that. Kendrick Taylor all at the back there trying to get going. Fabio Guerrero trying to get on track still. Steve Bycroft's had a problem.
Yeah, we thought there might be a problem. We see if we can come back and get some of that. I can report that the QC Clapp has fallen way back. Actually, he has started in second. He's now dropped back to fifth as he just lost a position to Frisch. Rucola races in third. Shears in second. Up in the very front, though, it is, welcome back, Norlampi.
Yeah, Norlampi already starting to put a little bit of distance there. Off to a good start. Another driver off to a good start. It's Mark Winfield back in 14, picking up spots. Gerd Hofer up the road from him, just getting around just getting around Thorsten Call. Catharic Pai working right now on Nicholas Landau. Almost made contact as they come across to complete their first lap.
We talked about the top 5, the back half of your top 10. One of the Gerber brothers are here. Fabian, he's in 6th position. Matt Wood behind him in 7th. Vandenberg in 8th. The last 2 cars in your top 10. Nicola Kochi. And then Peter Konechny. You want to take a shot of that?
Peter Konechny.
Konechny.
Just kind of, it has to flow off the tongue. Boy, good battle up front, and as we see Richard Borchers trying to hold on to that second place position. Kyle Rucola right there looking to overtake already here early on in this race. Does not want to let the preacher get too far up the road here. Rucola looking over the shoulder. There's Jerno Frisch. The top four already starting to pull away and drop this field. QC Clapp needs to get busy back there.
Let's go back and we'll take a look at the incident, Sean. You saw it. I was watching up front that we saw on the very first lap that took out so many of the drivers.
Yeah, we'll go back to that. Here goes the replay now. You'll see off the start right down into turn one. There'll be big trouble. One car gets away up front, but it's at the back where all the trouble unfolds. Tony Teolis right there in the middle. It'll be one of the red, white, and blue cars there, you see. He gets turned all the way around. Cars go scrambling to try and avoid trouble, but all get pushed off to the side. We're going to go on board Teolis and watch his ride through this. Nobody really picked up any major damage. Most of the cars, it was slight damage.
I think it was the distraction from the nonsense that was going on in front of them there, with cars really spinning. They never really did come back out on the track, but I think it took away some of their attention to the racing, and that's what caused them to get caught up farther in the back. We look at our leaders right now.
Borcher's still trying to hold off Ruocola. Ruocola making this very difficult, very nervous. Richard Borcher's up there. Again, it got to go back to the qualifying effort by Borcher's, though. This driver with the number 18 on the car, Soup, you see that 18 and you wonder, well, is that one of the fastest guys in here? Well, he is today. Oulton Park must be a favorite. Richard is dialed in and now starts to put a little bit of time between himself and Kyle Ruocola, but maybe not for long. Now the Preacher starting to pull away a little bit up there, Soup.
You got to think that Ruocola, Sean, is because he's around so much and he knows the leader that Nora Lampe is fast. You got to think that Ruocola really would like to get around Borchers right now if he could, because they are losing touch.
Yeah. Another really good battle is just back here for 7th. Matt Wood trying to hold off Michelle Vandenberg. Oh, P2. Here we go.
And just as we said, he tries to make Ruocola, he's going to lose momentum, and that's going to let Frisch give a shot at it. But he has to back out. 2, 3, and 4, nose to tail.
Okay, we'll try and get back to Wood and Vandenberg here. Still a good battle, not as good as it was a moment ago. Vandenberg trying to outbrake Matt Wood, not working yet here. They were side by side just a moment ago, just after the start of this last lap. Now it seems Wood has kind of gathered it back up. Vandenberg tries to outbrake into one, does not work.
Let's go up to second because Ruocola is side by side now, and I think. Oh, and Borchers gets the preferred position now. They are Cialis bathtubs as they head down into the Shell Oils corner. They work through 4, and actually before they get there, Ruocola gets the pass made. Now they get to the 180. And look how that has also brought in now the driver back in 5th position is at the back of the train, Fabian Gerber. He goes back. Gerber is in 6th. It's a 5-car battle. Clapp is actually in 5th now. Let's watch Gerber. Gerber's all over the back of Clapp. Clapp, who started 2nd, lost 1 position early, then another one, and now is in jeopardy of losing 1 more to the Austrian. Interval between 1st and 2nd. We'll mark this down. 2.6 seconds. But once well, still Borchers. I thought, what happened to Nora Lampe? Oh, I'm sorry, Nora. Okay, I got it.
Yet Nora Lampe out front. Sorry. You said that 2.6, now gone to 2.7, and it continues to go up as Juha right now got nothing but clean track in front of him. The mirror is starting to look empty.
Yeah, I apologize. It's Ruocola who was making the move back on Borchers now has fallen back behind Frisch.
Yeah, Frisch taking advantage of the mistake and now has himself solid in 3rd, up 2 spots here early. Soup, let's move back a little bit to Nicola Kochi right now, who is up 3 spots early. Pulled off a move on Jared Hofer just a little while to get around, dropping Jared to 10th. But a great start here for Kochi, looking to gain some big points today here in round 7.
Racing inside the top 10. Yeah, we me see. There we go, Nicholas Coach. Let's go back to 14th position.
Yeah, Mark Winfield. Yes.
Go ahead, Sean.
I was just going to say Winfield leading Nicholas Landau right now. This is a train of cars here developing as we see Karthik Pai start to come into that picture, followed by Pablo Suarez, John Stevens, and Adam Frazier, all trying to get to this party here. But right now, it's Mark Winfield that they're trying to break down and get to make a mistake. Landau getting a run at him down the front straight.
Boy, Sean, from just stepping into this series, at least at this track, passing on this place, really tough.
It really is, Soup. There's just not a lot of areas here where you can just get her wide open for long. Out of Shell Oil Corner through turn 6 and a chance down into Knickerbrook. But that's about it, Soup.
Looking for drivers making their way up. And, of course, we were talking about Kochi. He is up 3 spots into 12th. Landau actually qualified in 13th, fallen back a couple. He's back in 15th.
Yeah, and Landau giving good chase, but can't seem to find the exit speed on these turns right now to catch up to Winfield and really get in the toe of that machine. And right now, it's going to run out of track. There's that turn out of Druids there. Very tricky.
We go up to 5th position. Our director was on it there for a minute. Well, there we go. We're looking at the QC Clapp. Again, he qualified 2nd. Either he really got in a good qualifying lap or something is wrong with him right now, because he is really off the pace from where he would expect to be. And he is being hunted down by Fabian Gerber, who's been working both left and right, trying to find any way around him. I think Fabian knows if I can get past you, then I can get up there and try to run down Ruicola.
Well, these two working very well on track together right now. QC not showing any damage on the car. There we go. There's the move to the inside.
Now they come up and they get that done. So move the Austrian driver up, and now Clapp is close to losing another one, as that was Wood who was taking a peek in there. He's going to lose all sorts of momentum. That's going to let Vandenberg have a hunt at it. Now let's see if Gerber can race away from Clapp once the pass was made. He's got, about just under 3 seconds to get up to Ruicola. All this going on behind Nora Lampy, who has opened up almost a 4-second lead.
Soup, there is a great battle going way back in this field. In 23rd, Leard Hughes, who lost a lot of spots early on in this race, finds himself down in 23rd, trying to hold off. Oh, trouble for Clapp, off track. QC, it looked like a bit of an early turn in for QC. We're going to get a look at it right now. You're going to see him turn to the left up here, and it's a little bit too soon. Tires bite on that curbing.
Unfortunately, when he went off track, it looked like he didn't take too hard of a hit. He almost took like the service road there, and he finally drops, cycles in back in 11th position. You know, Sean, we talked about the points available in this race, but I guess with this being, with it not splitting, maybe, does that mean that it's maybe not quite as many points available? Strength of field a little lower than you would expect because of it didn't split?
Well, that's true, Soup. Yes, strength of field is a little bit lower because it didn't split. Hey, I'll tell you what, Michelle Vandenberg just put a heck of a move on Matt Wood to get by. Now Pickford has overtaken Steve Sarles back here in the pack. It was part of that battle we were talking about that Lear Hughes was leading. A lot of action going on back there. These guys fighting hard from deep in the field.
But honestly, after the first lap incident that we had that took out several cars, things have settled down a lot.
Well, yeah, and a lot of those cars that were involved in that Super are still running in this race. Like I said, the damage on those vehicles was not bad. It was just a lot of spinning and guys trying to avoid hitting each other. So a lot of fortunate drivers, but they are putting on a great battle here at the back of the pack right now. Like, Soup, we're hearing QC Clapp really struggling with his machine. He's down 10 now into 12th.
Yeah, it's just, he qualified second. This something tells me something is amiss with him. Maybe the car picked up some damage I didn't see. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, and you know, if it's any damage, it's got to be on the under tray. The car itself, he's got some front wing damage, but it's not an ender. You know, Soup, sometimes you get rattled and you find it hard to get back into a rhythm. You need good rhythm here at Oulton Park. This is a very, very tricky track. And like I said earlier, very narrow surface to work with.
Oh, he gets collected. The car gets loose, and I believe this is Matt. No, I'm not sure who got into him. Let's see who this is.
It was Thorsten Call. We're going to go on board with him. Unfortunately, QC just turns right in front of him. Certainly not intentional, but poor Thorsten had nowhere to go. That was Pablo Suarez slapping the wall there at the end. We'll catch this from above. You're going to see QC spin.
That's a good. Then he goes behind the tree. Oh, nice time to cut the camera. Very good. That was perfect, though. We saw US behind the tree, went to a different camera shot. Good job from our director.
Soup, this is iRacing, where every tree matters. You remember that, okay, sir?
Let's go up to second because things are heating up here right now. Horschers, I'm not sure if he's actually being run down or if he's just falling back into Prix. It is just under 5 seconds up to the leader, so this battle for second, best battle up front, at least inside the top 10.
Just had another move here at the back of the field. We're not the mid-pack. I'm sorry. Landau gets around Winfield. Landau finally starting to move up the field just a little bit after working really, really hard on Winfield. Another driver back there. It's on the move is Karthik Pai. I'm sorry. You know, he shown up here just a couple of weeks ago and is now starting to show that patience and a little bit of learning how to master this Lotus 79 pays off as he again continues to march up the field. The times are coming down, but Soup, our leader, Juha Norlampi, we haven't talked about him in a while. Well, tell you what, things looking pretty smooth for the preacher right now. He's opened up a 5-second advantage on Richard Borchers, who still continues to fight with Jerno Frisch and Kyle Ruicola.
Norlampi will be coming up on lap traffic pretty soon, but the good news for Norlampi is it's pretty much single cars back there. No real battle going on. We saw this battle that we're looking on here. This is second, third, and fourth. This is a good one. Now, another one that is heating up a bit. In fact, let's go there right now. Let's go to 8th position. This is Kochi and Hofferer looking at it. Gerd trying to make a move on Nicola.
Ooh.
Kochi up there in the citrus-flavored car. Hofferer back there in the light blue.
Yeah, Kochi having a good run here so far, up to 8th. Jared Hoferer, some would say that's less than stellar performance right now from Hoferer. So
yeah, you would.
Nicola getting the best of him right now.
Just from watching the series as a fan and not a commentator, I was surprised to see Gerd so far back. Boy, but even though he's quick, passing is just so tough. Now, Sean, talk to me about dirty air in these cars. I know so much of the downforce is generated by the ground effects, which maybe I would think, I've never been in one of these cars, I would think that probably not as affected by the dirty air in front. Am I true about that? Because it's so much more of a vacuum rather than like...
Well, I'll tell you what,
wings?
they're really, really hard to turn once you get up under the rear end of the car in front of you, and that is an issue at a track like Oulton Park. We talk about the difficulty of passing here. It's because it's hard to get close and be able to still turn the car. Not a lot of great drafting zones here. Like I said, you have the one good one out of turn 6, but it's not a very long one. So you've got to be close, and the only way to do that is somehow to find your way to be able to get through the turn up on them, or have an amazing exit somewhere and take advantage of someone's mistake that they make. There's a battle for
here's the move. As Frisch finally tries to get the done, cannot get it done. Borchers hanging in there, and Sean, what else that I've noticed is you see this for free. If you make an attempt and you fail, you lose momentum, and Ruocola was almost able to jump back in there as well.
Boy, and you know, Ruocola putting in the solid work by keeping it close, and that's how you pick up a spot here. Is, you know, you find somebody trying to take advantage of that and try and gain a spot, and boy, if they don't get it, that opportunity is yours. Ruocola is going to pay attention here. He's going to have another chance real soon.
Let's go back to 8th. Now we have side by side. Here comes the light blue car. And boy, he gets it done. Hofer. Oh, but boy, can he keep it on track? He does. So let's move Hofer up in front of Kochi.
Well, Jared must have been listening. Because he...
well, again, Sean, you called it. He got the good drive off of the corner exit is what got him there.
Yeah, it's so important here. It's important at most tracks, Soup. But again, because you just don't have a lot of wide open sections on this this circuit, you got to take him where you can get him. He does a great job. Now starts to drop Nicola just a little bit.
Okay, let's go up.
Frisch and Borchers.
Oh, yeah. Now Ruocola is going to jump in there as Frisch made an attempt on Borchers, didn't get it done, and then Ruocola tried to jump in from the third car in line, saw that he could do it, not going to work. They stay in that order. That's the second attempt I've seen Frisch make.
Boy, and this is going on, and Juha Norlampi has not only been able to put time between himself and this battle, but now cars, Robert Cottle and Jason Wallet, stand in the middle of that battle as here come Richard Borchers and Jerno Frisch.
Oh, good job from. Oh, he puts careful. There's getting off track, and then there's getting off track.
Just a bit outside, see. Yeah.
Okay, Borchers running in second. Well, you got to feel. We'll stay on this a bit longer. You got to feel if Frisch is going to make a real serious attempt on it. Boy, he's got a good run here and a lot of straightaway to get it done. Here he comes. The defensive line taken by Borchers. They are side by side. Momentum to the car on the outside. Again, they work through Knickerbrook, and he gets the pass made. And now Borchers loses a lot of momentum. That's going to give an opportunity. Can Ruocola take advantage as well going into Druids? No.
Soup, I've got to report Steve Bycroft has had a problem. I've not been able to pick it up. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he started dropping through the field. In fact, he's in the pit now. We might have a replay of it. Let's take a look.
We'll take a stab at it. Our director thinks he's found it. We're never quite sure what we're going to... Well, we got the tail end of it there.
Boy, tough break there for Steve.
Let's go on board. We'll get another run at it.
Well, coming up the hill here. Oh,
yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, that twisted the car up a bit. He decides to pit it in and put her behind the wall. Steve Sarles, another driver, putting it behind the wall.
You know, that in-car camera gave you a good view here of the English skies. Can we take a quick look at the weather and see what we have going on? We didn't really talk about that. See if that's playing an effect. How's that track temperature, Sean? Looks pretty friendly.
It's very friendly, Soup. Compared to practice leading up to this race, which was 102 degrees. It's beautiful. It's mostly cloudy, 66 degrees outside, and only 77 degrees on track. Grip shouldn't be much of an issue. It's not an issue for our leader, Juha Norlampi. But this battle rages on here to fight for the podium. Frisch, Borchers, Ruocola.
And as we thought, once Frisch was able to get around Borchers, he's able to distance himself a little bit. Another nice battle to look at. If we go back to P7 here. Actually, we're going to look at Hoffer in 8th. Now, he's trying to run down Matt Wood.
Trying. Yes, he is. Kochi's still keeping it close, too, man, after getting passed by Hofer. He not let Jared get away. This is going to be a 3-car battle here really, really soon. As soon as the next turn, maybe even.
Uh-oh. Did we lose? There, he came back. Got a little bit scared there when the driver. Sometimes that's an internet issue when they blink away if you're new to sim racing. Sean, how about a little love? I'm going to let you say the name to the driver in 10th because I think he deserves some credit for what he's doing.
Peter Konieczny, yes, the Illinois driver, sitting there in 10th, hanging on by himself right now. Barry West trying to make up ground and catch him, but Peter doing a good job of holding down that 10th spot. Got a race, though, just behind him, not too far. It's Winfield right now trying to hold off Kartik Pai, who has reeled him in. Kartik just a little bit better every lap. It's just 2/10 on that last one. I'm sorry, it was a 10th on the last lap. But as you can see here, Kartik getting a little bit closer.
Seems like the interval between drivers should be 3.214 seconds, but that's just... See, right now that interval is 0.2 seconds. Is Pai trying to make a move?
It's 3.217, is it not?
Okay. All right.
217, I don't know.
Always trying to one up me, don't you? Go an extra decimal point. Right now, Pai really doing a good job as we ride on board. Man, he took it in there really deep. Love this camera shot over the right shoulder of Pai. Almost thinks that Pai should see if he can get a job. Boy, it's a good closing race. They go down into Knickerbrook. Oh, my goodness! He had such a great closing. He got there faster. And I'll be honest with you, the closing rate from my perspective was incredible. Watch how quickly he gets there.
I wonder if Winfield missed an upshift there, maybe?
Yeah. We've seen enough racing to know it does. It's just like he just got there in a blink of an eye.
Winfield's car slowed down. It slowed down a lot. I'm not going to put that on Pai's shoulders there. Let's go to third.
Ruicola, I think, has a run on Borscher, so he's going to get him. Oh, my. Talk about practicing some rhinoplasty and chopping off the nose. Ruicola has to wait. Woo. I've not seen Borscher's rate before, but he's one tough son of a gun, man. All this going on. Once Frisch got around, he was able to get a little bit of a gap shot, but he hasn't been able to pull away that much.
Tell you what, I'm amazed every Sunday I watch these guys go at it. Some of the best here on the service really are. They just continue to amaze no matter what circuit they're at.
And just to clarify, I was not criticizing Borscher's driving. He knew right where he was. There was some great racecraft from him. He had the gap, and he just said, "Nope, not this time." Oh, Winfield was racing, trying to. Oh, you know what? He came up on the back of a back marker. It was James Wallet who got walloped. Wallet got walloped by Winfield. And again, it's Jason. Boy. And again, I guess maybe just a different braking zone between the guys running back in the back half of the field and the front half of the field. As a perennial back marker, I sometimes have to.
Jerd.
Oh,
big trouble for Jerd. Oh. We're going to catch this on the replay, but he has trouble with Fabio Guerrero.
Fabio was a little bit off track. Boy, that's a tough one. So watch Guerrero. He gets a little bit on the grass, and he brings it back up, but this is just kind of just bad timing.
Yeah. Hey, just a slight move to the left here by Guerrero, and that's all it took. Just turns right into him.
Now there you see the car ahead of the blue car, and then he... Oh, that's a...
And Jared Hofer certainly suffering from that.
Again, the back markers, the car has mass. They have to put it somewhere.
That'll be an ender for Jerd's hopes today to get a better run. Juha Norlampi, our leader, getting by one of those lap cars now. Robert Simpkins. Simpkins, though, still in 21st, up 6 spots.
So, Sean, with about 12 laps to go, why don't we run down the top 10 for you? I'll take the top 5. It's Nora Lampi, and the gap continues to grow. Now 6.2 seconds as he continues to work his way through the lap traffic. Gernot Frisch behind him. He's got about 1.3 seconds on Richard Borchers. And then continuing to stalk is Ruokola. Rounding out your top 5, you got to go a little bit farther back to find Vandenberg. Sean?
All right, Fabian Gerber here in 6th. That's exactly where Fabian started and continues to hold that spot, just 1.5 seconds behind Vandenberg. And then we go back to Matt Wood, another driver who's continued to just hold serve here in 7th, a second behind Fabian Gerber. We go back to Nicola Kochi, who has been in a battle pretty much all race long. Finally getting a chance to relax and breathe just a bit. Is 8th good enough for Nicola Kochi? I don't know. We'll see. He's got 1.8 seconds to catch Matt Wood. In 9th, Peter Konechny here holding it down right now behind the lap car of Adnan Dizdarevek, and now getting by and completing that pass against in 9th spot. It's Barry West on the chase. UK&I driver up 5 spots, finds himself in 10th right now, having a good drive today.
Barry's just been back there racing quietly, picking up just vulturing spots from attrition, and little by little found himself inside the top 10. A great run from Barry West. Let's go back up to 3rd. I think we got a shot out of here. Ruokola is really beginning to annoy me because he keeps making stabs. Oh, man, you got to take the blade out of the sheath there. Now they're coming up on the back of Tiolas here. That's Tony, the car number 30.
Yeah, traffic playing a big factor in this race right now.
Oh, there it is right there. He got up. You can see that Borchers had to check up, lost all of his momentum. And how about the quick thinking of Ruokola says, I see an opening.
Look at this replay, Soup. Absolutely nuts.
Oh, boy, Ruokola was really fortunate not to clip Borchers as he went around.
Man, just fractions of an inch there.
Boy, the reaction time of these guys is I just shake my head when I think of it.
Soup, I'm checking in on Kartik Pai again, trying to pick up another spot. Now in 13th after getting around John Stevens. Adam Frazier in the crosshairs as they come across the front stretch. Down into Old Hall Corner.
Hi, another one of those drivers, unlike West, has actually been working. I mean, no, I apologize to Barry West. He just has nobody to race with right now. But Pai has been picking up spots both from attrition and from doing it on the track. Up 6 positions. Adam Frazier racing in 12th. John Stevens too far to be a factor in this one. You see him at the last car there. You see off the tail of Frazier. That's Pai, and then you can see Stevens in the very back. There's John.
You know, 2 drivers have been doing a lot of fighting and chasing. The chasing's been done by Keith Herner back here in 17th. Thorsten Kahl has been the thorn in the side in front of him. He's not been able to make a move to get around Thorsten. Thorsten holding serve in 16th. And now Herner looking to go to the inside, does not, backs out of it. Soup, it's been a recurring theme throughout the race. Just so hard to get a pass completed here.
Well, honestly, what's happening now up with the leaders as they're coming into traffic, that is setting up the passes. We've seen that a number of times, and it's tightening up the battles as well. Drivers will come up on behind a back marker, and they just have to wait. Nora Lompy having it all his way right now. 6.2 seconds. Now, he has not been racing full-time this season, Sean. That's my understanding?
Right. Yeah. Juha had a very, very bad, it was a flu virus of sorts, and boy, really had him down for quite some time. But he's been here the past few weeks, and, he's back to his winning ways.
With the dropped races that allowed for in the series, that he's still got a chance to make his presence known in the standings. Prix in second now, all by himself, 6 seconds behind Nora Lompy, 3 seconds ahead of Ruokola. Once Ruokola was able to get into clean air, he has put some distance between him and his competition. Forscher's in fourth.
Well, right now we've got a couple of Finns on this podium trying to hang on here for 7 more laps. I said this one would be quick. I did not lie. You're turning low 114 still deep into this race. The cars are getting faster. Indeed, Jarno Friesch just turning the fastest lap of the race last time by a 114 flat.
Friesch still with hopes of getting to Nora Lompy if Nora Lompy can have a little bit of trouble. Scrolling back through the field. Let's go to a bizarre battle. 26th director. I think these cars are a lap down. Let's give them a little love. This is Robert Cottle in a battle with Pablo Suarez.
Suarez, who had a hard hit earlier, was up on his side.
Oh, you know what?
Car is a mess and getting out of the way right now. Was battling there for a moment with Cottle, but just lets the much faster car get by there. Was that Mark Pickford that blew by him there? Yeah,
I checked in on it. I thought it was going to be a battle for that position, but obviously Cottle.
We missed it.
Got there.
We missed it, but Herner finally got around Thorsten Kahl, picks up that spot. Herner up to 16th. I think we've got a replay of it here. That's worth looking at. Boy, Keith Herner really put in the work there to get that done. He'd been on that for about 10 laps. There he is up the inside soup.
Gets that done, moves up his position.
I think Thorsten finally said, you know what, good on you, mate. I'll see you later. Herner got a long way to go to catch Pickford, though. Pickford up in 4.8 seconds. A little bit of work to do to get that done.
My timing and scoring is showing Pickford as my hard charger, up from 33rd to 15th.
Oh, yeah. Pickford's been very impressive today.
Either that or unimpressive in qualifying, one of the two.
Yeah, you qualify 33rd, and you say to yourself, we've got a top 15 car today. Well, that's where he sits, in the top 15.
Scrolling through, the battles have kind of cooled off a bit as there's looking for some. There's gaps between most of the drivers now, so they just have 6 laps to go. I think some of the most interesting driving is the lead cars getting through some of the lap markers. What do you got, John?
Matt Wood trying to set Gerber here up for a possible overtake. Matt right in his wake. Maybe gets a chance at him here at a Lodge. He can get a great exit, break a little deeper. Not good enough. Not good enough. I don't think he's going to have enough track to catch him down in the Old Hall.
He has been following Gerber the entire race.
Yeah, and both of these drivers continue to hold those spots that they earned in qualifying.
No traffic as far as lap cars ahead of them right now. They will be coming up on the back of... Let's go to 3rd position. This will be interesting. This is Ruokola. And then remember, this driver that he's about to go around here is QC Clapp. Clapp qualified 2nd. Things didn't go quite the way he had hoped, I would imagine.
Yeah, not the run that QC had hoped for.
How about some credit, though, Sean, for...
Oh, yeah.
For still being out there putting in the miles. That's great.
Yeah, no give up in QC clap at this point after earning that great qualifying spot.
So now go back to 6 because Gerber and Wood will be coming up on the back of QC in a second.
And man, you know what? We keep missing Karthik Pai pick up these spots.
Got another one.
Soup, yeah, got another one up to 12. Here, just it looks like it was about a minute ago. We missed it there.
That's a nice little 3-car battle, but I think Pai's the fastest of them. He's
Yeah.
going to leave Frazier behind. Frazier now under attack from Stevens. It's a battle for 13th.
Yeah, and Stevens has been solid ever since getting passed by Pai earlier. Continues to be part of this battle. And a mistake by Frazier.
Yeah. I think he's got him. Oh, no, and again, we've seen that. Boy, but he doesn't give up. Oh, now, what is going on there? Did Frazier surrender it, or did he miss his... Oh, Frazier's struggling.
I think Frazier surrenders it there to Pai because he slips in back behind Pai and tries to get going again there. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean Pai, but Knesny with his own trouble.
Oh, my goodness. More than trouble as he noses it in. You know, it might be fun to look at this one from Tony Teolis if we have a chance, as the car comes right in front.
Yeah, I think this will be the second time we ride on board Tony Teolis trying to avoid trouble.
He basically
the first time he didn't.
Almost parks the car to let the spinning car get out of the way. This will be fun. Where do you go? You be the driver. I'm safe.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, good work there by Teolis.
My 95-year-old mother-in-law, she loves to watch these broadcasts. Mama Jean, remember, it's just simulated. None of this is they're okay. She calls me after each one of these. Is that driver okay? Go ahead, Sean.
We're watching the Preacher there in first. Over 4.5 second lead on Journo Frisch. But Frisch keeps turning in monster laps right now. I just don't think there's enough time for Journo to catch him. Even though the laps are significantly faster, they're not fast enough. It's still over a 4-second gap, and we've got about 2.5 laps to go.
But it was over 6 a while ago, so he's knocked off 2 seconds, and it's about to drop under that 4-second mark. Could be a combination. Well, first of all, we know that Frisch is flying. It could be a case of this Noah Lampe minding the gap as he works his way around the lapped car.
Ruocola, Borchers back at it. Let's just say Borchers back at it. Borchers has been fighting this whole race. Now it's with Kaya Ruocola. Borchers get this done. Boy, passing Kaya Ruocola, a daunting task for any driver.
Boy, Borchers has won a place in my heart. He's tough. And here's another, he has not given up yet. He still wants that spot back from Ruocola. Borchers qualified third, lost 1 position, back racing in 4th right now.
Borchers milking every last drop out of his Lotus 79 right now in an effort to catch Kaya Ruocola and take a podium spot away. Ruocola having to be dependent upon that traffic to get around it cleanly. Thorsten Call gets out of the way. Great job. Let's Borchers go on. White flag is out, Soup.
I'll tell you who's sad to see the white flag, and that is Karthik Pai, because he had a chance to get another spot on Nicholas Landau. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get there. That gap, 1.4 seconds, but he is coming. That's another driver that caught my attention here. Pai is, he's sweet.
Well, this race been much about Juha Noah Lampe, and
I remember
just
him.
how well it's gone for him, Sue. A great qualifying effort and a great start to this race was all he really needed.
Coming up, going to put a legitimate lap on if he feels like it on Mark Pickford in 14th position.
35 car field, and he's passed over half of it.
Yeah,
Sue.
I was thinking that as well. Not sure if he's actually going to put in the the effort to get Pickford here.
Well,
There we go.
unless Pickford's asking for mercy here.
And there you have it, as Nora Lampy picks up win round 7 of the Classic Team Championship. Prix gets second, Rulicola comes home in third, Borchers and Vandenberg round out your top 5.
Wow, Soup. You know, Nora Lampy could work this championship out. If he can make it throughout the rest of the season and just keep showing up and winning, this could be a way to the title.
Can I find any battles here? Can we go to 18th real quick? This is Paulo Apperton coming through.
Yeah.
And
Frank Brezel not able to catch him there.
And I believe those are all of our lead lap cars. So what we'll do right now on the Global Sim Racing channel, we're going to stay on a little bit.
Yeah, Landau's still trying to keep it away from Pye. Think he's going to be okay.
Boy, Pye needed just maybe 2 more laps. He would have got there.
Yeah.
Landau gets 9th and 10th, and we go down to Stevens in 11th. Fraser's going to come home, I think, is going to be 12th position. But 13th, I believe.
Pickford going to come across in 14th here, Soup, as he makes his way down the straight, and there he goes.
And that's the final car on the lead lap. So now we'll go to break here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but don't go far because we'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers, and then close up shop. Back in a few.
They say it's always darkest before the dawn. And in the world of motorsports, those words ring especially true. As is tradition, Daytona greets us as we emerge from our winter hibernation. But this year, we awaken 30 years in the past. This time we celebrate a bygone era as drivers take to the unrefined beasts that are the Audi Quattro and Nissan GTP. A new season is about to dawn. The darkness about to fade. The Major Series and Late Apex Apparel proudly bring you the 2018 Classic Daytona 2.4, an endurance race from the ages, for the ages. Coming to you live, iRacing Live, on February 4th, 2018.
Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Classic Team Championship in the Lotus 79s here from Oulton Park, round 7 of 12 on the winter schedule of 2018. Let's run down the finishing order. and it was the preacher. Juha Norlampi comes home in first ahead of Gernot Frisch. Kelly Luricola behind him round out your podium. Richard Borchers in fourth. Michael Vandenberg in fifth. Fabian Gerber and Matt Weths go sixth and seventh. And Matt Wood goes sixth and seventh. Nicola Kochi, Barry West, and Nicholas Landau, eighth, ninth, and 10th. Sean?
All right, and we go to 11th place in a great run by Karthik Pai there in 11th. Started 19th in this race. John Stevens, another big mover, up to 12th. 13th, Adam Frazier. Mark Pickford, what a run. Started in 33rd, finishes 14th today. Great run by Pickford. Keith Herner, 15th. Thorsten Kahl, 16th. That's where he qualified. QC Clapp. Boy, what a disappointment for QC today. Finishes 17th, started second in this race. Paolo Albertin, 18th. Frank Grazel, another great mover in this field. Frank started in 34th for him, finishes 19th. 20th, Robert Simpkins. Leard Hughes takes home 21st today. 22nd, going to go to Tony Teolis. Mark Winfield in 23rd. Adnan Disdarovec, he finishes in 24th today. Started this race back in 35th, so good run for him. Robert Cottle, 25th. Jason Wallet will take 26th. 27th, Peter Konechny. Pablo Suarez, who got caught up in some trouble early, just hard to recover for him, will have to take 28th today. 29th, Jared Hofer, also in trouble today. And boy, what a horrible result. 29th. 30th, going to go to Fabio Guerrero. Steve Bycroft, we saw his trouble too, unfortunately. 31st, 32nd, Mason Pascal. Steve Sarles will finish 33rd. Andrew Eng, things never really got started going well for him, and he'll finish 34th. And Kendrick Taylor, unfortunately, does not survive that first lap incident, gets it around and into the pit and then parks it.
Sean, it looks like our race winners come into the interview booth. Let's have you talk to Norlampi.
Juha, congratulations on another win. Looked like you were feeling pretty good in the seat today.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. It was a fun race, and well, I had a very good start there from the pole, even though QC was a little faster, and I just take cautious that the first corner because it was very slippery, and I think QC was too I don't know, too fast or too uncareful or what. He just make some mistake there, but well, after that it was just taking care of my car and wait 2-3 laps that my tires was coming drivable, and then I just pushed hard about 10 to 20 laps, and got that advantage, and after that it was just overtaking the lapped guys and keeping the touch.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about overtaking the lapped cars. Soup and I talked about during the race how difficult the passing opportunities are on this circuit. The very narrow track, a couple of blind turns. What kind of a challenge was that for you?
Actually, I just first of all I want to thank everyone for those lapped cars. They made marvelous job. All except there was a few instances that some gave room at the middle of the turn, and that's not a very good place. It was 2 times I was very surprised, but luckily I managed there, and it was very hard because there was 2 or 3 occasions that they were battling very hard to each other, and I just didn't know that when one or the other would go aside and let me pass, but well, everything went good, very well.
Well, congratulations. What Soup and I were talking about a scenario under which you could win this championship, and that's coming to these last several races in the series and continuing to get these wins. I know it's always it's it's always a question whether or not you're going to make it, but we certainly hope the best and hope to see you next week and every week after that.
Yeah, Sean, I'm just I just had to say that I'm some kind of a Donald Duck, because last time I won, I had a 150 points about, and this time it didn't split, even though we have 35 guys. I don't understand that. It should have, but I'm just Donald Duck. When I won, then it's going to be no points for me. But last, I want to say that at this track there was Richard Borges and Michael van der Berg and QC Clapp. They were very, very fast, and I wasn't able to match their speed when I was a few times practicing. And perhaps I'm just a little bit better with qualifying for those two or a few laps. And the race pace, I was very good. But Michael was very much problems with his gas pedals, and he had only, I think, 80% of the thrust there. And that's not a good way to battle. But I just want to say that those guys were amazingly fast this time. I don't know what they have done to their cars, but I would like to see that setup someday. But yeah, it's nice that some other guys are going to come at the top and develop some good racing.
All right, Juha. Hey, thanks a lot, buddy. We will see you next week, and congratulations on another victory here in the series.
Thank you, and goodbye.
All right, Soup, and I know you have now caught up with Journo Frisch.
Journo, do you have a copy?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, good. Journo, hey, talk about passing today. My goodness, it seemed like passing was so hard. First, you had to get around Ruokola, then you had to get around Borchers. It was almost like the pass on Ruokola, you almost kind of wait till he made a mistake.
Yeah, you're right. That's one of the hardest tracks for passing, although it's a fast track, but it's so narrow. And yeah, I had to take quite some risk, especially with that overtake on Khaled. It was super scary.
Yeah. Tell me about, from watching from a distance, and I've never spent a lot of time. I've driven the 97 or the 79. I've tested on it. I haven't raced in it very much. Does the car is it tough to get behind a car? Does it slow down? Is there a push? Does dirty air make a difference?
Yeah, dirty air does make a difference, but it's not too bad. It also depends on the setup. As long as you have a little bit of wings, it's quite okay. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Well, I guess you got to be happy figuring how hard passing is. You qualified 5th. You got yourself a 2nd. I don't know if anybody had anything. You were making some time up on Noor Lampe at the end. Do you think he was just minding the gap, or did you think maybe if this race was been an hour, you might have been able to run him down?
No, I don't really think so. I think he just was controlling the race. He didn't take any extra risk. So congrats to him. He did it perfectly this time. Also, congrats to Carl and also the teams from the guys from Holland, which have been really quick this week.
Well, you were flying at the end. Congratulations on 2nd place. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Journo Frisch, our 2nd place finisher today. Sean?
All right, and we've caught Barry West now for just a moment. Barry, pretty solid run for you today, buddy. You all you did was pick up spots and finish inside the top 10.
Yeah, a really good day today. I learnt my lesson the first race this week when I came off on the last lap at the hairpin. I seemed to have trouble changing down to 2nd. It was staying 3rd and just over the top, turn the car over. That was the first race this week, but every other race been a good one. Been keeping on the track and really reasonable pace. Picked the place up off the start. It was at somebody in front of me. They didn't get away at all. I just drove straight past them. I think it was Nick Lando. That got us 1. And then before we finished the first lap, I saw 3 cars off. I don't know, they all came off. And I think Gerd was one of them. And then he caught us back up. I was having a really good battle with Peter
Konezny. Soup, you're not the only one. You see that? There you go.
Yeah, and I was just hanging on to his shirt tails, and then we caught a back marker who had some damage, and Peter got by, and I just lost. I think at 1.4 seconds. That was all. but that was enough to lose a toe. Then it was fairly lonely from then on. And then what surprised me towards the end, Peter had grief with a few laps to go, gave me the place. And then Gerd, I think, had grief as well. So handed me another 2 positions. So all in all, good race, good points for the team. And my teammate, Mark Pitchford, well, what a drive he had. He from 33rd to 12th, was it?
Yeah, Mark finished. Yeah, no, well, Mark finished 14th actually, but he did start way back there, man, and had a great drive, great pickup of points, and what a split today. 35 drivers. That's a big one. This is a tough track. Do you have any real world experience here? You've been over to this one?
No, I haven't. My son's driven around it, and on a track day, but no, I didn't go. But it's a track I love. I mean, I'd love to go there because. It's such a challenging track, but it's really suited for this car. I mean, you've got to be very careful the opening laps because it gets a bit messy sometimes. And if you pick any slight bit of damage up, you just lose so much on the straight. I had a bit of damage in the last race, and it was costing me only 0.3 a lap. But I just gradually lost places, just at 0.3 every lap eating away. But yeah, it's such, and that Knickerbrook, it's such a challenging corner.
It really is. I talked about that in the pre-race. I've struggled with that tremendously in practice.
Yeah. You know what it's called, Knickerbrook, don't you?
I don't. Please fill us in.
Well, apparently there was a couple making, what should we say, being quite amorous down there when there's a little brook there on one side of the brook. And whether they found any knickers in the brook, I don't know, but that's it got its name from that, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Soup and I could definitely appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that with us there, Barry. Boy, always great information out of Barry West. We thank you, my friend. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Soup, I don't know if this is a great segue to our next guest, but you picked up QC Clap.
Hey, Sean.
I wish QC is Soup here. I wish we could only talk about qualifying, but boy, once the green flag fell, things went south for you. What happened right off the bat?
Oh, I just don't feel comfortable amongst those fast guys yet. I haven't been racing or any sim at all for just 1 year. So I think I'm a bit too fast for my racing capabilities at the moment.
Well, that's a problem I cannot deal with. I have no relationship to that at all. That's something that's a good problem to have. I know that Jake Sperry probably knows this, and the fans that follow it regularly probably know, but I have to know. I'm assuming it doesn't stand for quality control. What does the QC actually stand for?
It's short for quick lap. No, it's Quinton.
Quinton, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Quinton's a good name. Shouldn't be ashamed of that one.
Oh, I'm not ashamed of it. It's just this was on my credit card when I applied for iRacing.
And Susan's tough. I know it's hard in iRacing to get that name changed.
Yeah, now it's just too late. No, but what a race today, and so many fast guys here, and it's just scary to be next to a guy like Yua in turn 1, and then you've got Gerno breathing in your neck. So I just let him go, and then there's guys like Fabian, Matt J. Wood, and they're all seasoned, super fast drivers. To be honest, I don't quite belong between those guys yet. So I'll keep practicing and trying, and maybe one day I'll come here in the interview room for a podium or something like that. Boy, that would be nice.
This has been a really great interview, and I hope a lot of early iRacers realize that racing is not just about being fast. Clearly, you have the pace to run fast, but racecraft is racing and qualifying very different.
Oh yes, you saw that today. That's a great example. Keep practicing with cars around you. That's more important than a fast lap.
All right, but good luck the rest of the way, and Quinton, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There you have it, Sean. That's how about that? You got to like that interview, huh? That I'm fast,
so
but
informative.
I don't have the racecraft yet, but I'll get there.
Yeah, what a guy, man. I mean, that is, you know what? Here's the great news for people watching for the first time, considering opening an iRacing account. There are a lot of guys. There are a lot of guys and ladies here on iRacing that are exactly like that. It's more about the racecraft than it is the win. And boy, that's what makes this service one of the greatest things ever. Dare I say, even better than the invention of the wheel. Although without the invention of the wheel, we may not have gotten to iRacing. So
they could have simulated.
That's probably not a good comparison.
There'd be like ice snowmobiles. All right, let's go ahead and close up shop here. Hey, thanks for tolerating me in the booth. Here's the good news. Jake will be back next week, so you won't have to put up with this nonsense again. So thanks for watching. Let's thank everybody at the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship for choosing GSRC as their exclusive broadcast company. The original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavor and feel is thanks to Eric Eckelm and Casey Lalonde. Boy, you hear that music, you know you're watching GSRC. See the screen for how to contact each of them. Crackers?
The Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship returns in 1 week, Sunday, February the 4th at Circuits Oulton. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. Folks, subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out these broadcasts coming up, sliding across your screen now. Check those out. Mark them down on your calendar if you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of our future broadcasts. Well, the best place to get that is right here on YouTube. We've got them lined up into the next week and plus. And we've got a great archive here of everything we've ever done. And you can find us at our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. Get us on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook. Type in Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word. You'll find us there, Soup.
Finally, on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, Sean Ambrose, our director, Amjad Yaman, our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. And if you missed that British accent, again, fear not, Jake Sperry will be back next week. So thank you all for putting up with me for this round. And with that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.